Let's be brutally honest for a second. Your retirement plan is a joke. You're sleepwalking towards a future where you'll be old, broke, and full of regret, and the only person to blame will be the one staring back at you in the mirror every morning. You've been fed a diet of comforting lies. Start small. Every little bit helps. Enjoy your youth. And it's keeping you chained to a future of poverty. You think you have time. Time is the one asset you're pissing away with every latte, every subscription you forgot you had, and every time you say, I'll start next month. Next month is a fantasy land where all your problems magically disappear. It's time to wake the hell up. This isn't another gentle nudge or a list of 5 fun ways to save. This is a shock to the system. This is the intervention you've been avoiding. I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm here to rattle your cage until you can't stand the sight of your own excuses. The problem isn't your income. It's not the economy. It's you. It's your weak discipline, your addiction to instant gratification, and your pathetic need for external validation. You're treating your future self, the old, tired, vulnerable you, like a stranger you couldn't care less about. The takeaway I am giving you isn't a simple tip. It's a fundamental rewiring of your entire operating system. It's the realization that every single dollar you spend today is a vote for the life you will live tomorrow. You are an architect, and your spending is your blueprint. Right now, you're designing a shack. I'm here to give you the plans for a fortress. But you have to be willing to do the hard, soul-crushing work of tearing down the old structure first. Forget everything you think you know about saving. Forget the gentle, palatable advice that has led you exactly nowhere. It's time to get your hands dirty. It's time to get real. Here are 7 methods to stop being a financial tourist in your own life and start building a future that doesn't fill you with dread. This is your final warning. Method 1. The financial autopsy, a brutal examination of where your money really dies. You think you know where your money goes. You're lying to yourself. You have a vague, foggy idea, a comforting narrative that lets you sleep at night. I mostly spend on necessities. I don't really splurge that much. It's all garbage. Your financial life is a crime scene, and you're both the victim and the perpetrator. It's time to put on the gloves and perform a full-blown autopsy, not a gentle review. An autopsy. I want you to see in excruciating detail how you've been slowly bleeding your future to death, one tiny cut at a time, for the next 90 days, not 30. That's for amateurs who want to feel good without actually changing. You're going to track every single cent that leaves your possession. I don't care if it's $1 for a vending machine soda, a 99-cent app, or a $500 investment in a new jacket. Every single cent. You will not use a budgeting app that neatly categorizes things for you into pretty little charts. That's a sedative. You're to do this the hard way, the way that burns the lesson into your soul. Your task, non-negotiable. Get a notebook, a physical, tangible notebook, one that feels real in your hands. This is your ledger of truth. Every day, without fail, you will write down the date, the item, the exact cost, and a 1-sentence explanation for why you bought it. Not what it was, but why. Be honest. Because I was bored. Because I felt sad. Because I wanted to impress a coworker. Because I have 0 self-control. Don't pretty it up. The uglier the truth, the more powerful the lesson. Use only cash or a debit card. For these 90 days, your credit cards are to be frozen. Literally. Put them in a container of water and stick them in the back of your freezer. Credit cards are an anesthetic that numbs you to the pain of spending. The buy now, worry later mindset is the very disease we are here to cure. When you have to hand over physical cash or see the number in your bank account immediately shrink, the transaction becomes real. It hurts a little. Good. It's supposed to. The weekly reckoning. Every Sunday, you will sit down with your notebook and a calculator. You will add up the week's spending. You will categorize it yourself, using brutally honest labels. Don't use generic terms like food. Use groceries for survival. Restaurant food because I was lazy, Uber Eats because I couldn't be bothered, junk food to fill an emotional void. Don't write shopping. Write clothes I didn't need, gadgets to distract me, crap from Amazon I barely remember ordering. Calculate your future self. Theft. This is the crucial step. For every single non-essential purchase, you will calculate its future cost. Use a compound interest calculator. That $150 dinner out, if you're 30 years from retirement, that's not $150. At an average 8% market return, that's over $1,500 you just stole from your 65-year-old self. That $5 coffee every workday, that's $1,300 a year. Over 30 years, with compounding, you're looking at a jaw-dropping $150,000. Write that number in red ink next to the entry in your notebook. Let the horror sink in. You are not just spending money. You are liquidating your future freedom. After 90 days of this brutal, manual, and painful process, you will no longer be able to lie to yourself. The fog will lift. You will see, with a clarity that will both terrify and empower you, that your financial situation is not something that happened to you. It is the direct result of thousands of small, unconscious, and undisciplined choices. You will stop seeing spending as a reward and start seeing it for what it is, a trade. You're trading a secure, dignified future for a fleeting moment of present-day satisfaction. The autopsy will prove to you, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that you are the one holding the scalpel. It's time to stop cutting into your own future and start suturing the wounds. Method 2. Divorce your ego. Your net worth is not your self-worth. Your ego is the most expensive liability you have. It's the whispering voice that tells you that you deserve that new car, that you need that designer bag to feel successful, that you have to live in a certain neighborhood to prove you've made it. Your ego is a black hole for your money, and until you serve it with divorce papers, you will remain its financial slave. We live in a world designed to chain your identity to your possessions. Social media is a highlight reel of curated consumption, making you feel inadequate and driving you to spend money you don't have on things you don't need to impress people you don't even like. Breaking the cycle isn't about being cheap, it's about being free. It's about finding a source of self-worth that isn't dependent on a price tag. It's about building a sense of self so robust that no amount of marketing or social pressure can make you feel less than. This is arguably the hardest battle you will fight because it's entirely internal. It's you versus a lifetime of cultural conditioning. Your task, non-negotiable. The Great Purge. You're going to systematically dismantle the museum of your ego. Go through your home and identify every single item you bought primarily to signal something to others. The brand name clothes you barely wear. The expensive watch that tells the same time as a $20 one. The kitchen gadget you bought after seeing an influencer post it. The car with the payment that suffocates you every month. You're going to sell it. All of it. I don't care how much you like it. The point isn't to get the money back. You'll likely get pennies on the dollar. The point is the act of separation. It's a ritual. With every item you list for sale, you are declaring, my identity is not for sale. I'm not this thing. The initial panic you feel is the ego fighting back. Starve it. The uniform challenge. For the next 30 days, you are going to adopt a personal uniform. Pick a few simple, basic, unbranded items of clothing and wear variations of only those items. Think Steve Jobs or Albert Einstein. The goal is to completely remove the mental energy and financial temptation of using clothes as a form of communication. You'll realize two things. First, almost no one actually cares what you're wearing. Second, you will reclaim an incredible amount of brain power, time, and money that you were previously dedicating to the meaningless pursuit of external approval through apparel. Curate your inputs. Unfollow every single account on social media that makes you feel a pang of envy or a desire to consume. Influencers, luxury brands, travel bloggers showcasing a life you can't afford. Your information diet directly affects your financial health. If you're constantly feeding your brain images of a life you can only obtain through debt, your willpower will eventually break. Replace them with accounts about skills, knowledge, philosophy, or personal finance. Change your inputs to change your desires. Find a new metric of success. Your ego needs something to measure. If you take away consumption, you must replace it with something else. Make your new metric something you control. something that builds you up instead of draining you. Your new metric could be, how many days in a row can you stick to your budget? How many books can you read in a month? How much can you add to your investment account? How far can you run? Pick a difficult, meaningful goal and obsess over that instead of obsessing over the next purchase. Build your pride on your discipline, not your possessions. You will transition from a consumer to a creator or builder. Your joy will start to come from what you can build, your savings, your skills, your health, rather than what you can buy. You will understand on a cellular level that the respect you're seeking from others can't be bought. Real respect comes from discipline, integrity, and character. By divorcing your ego, you stop asking the world, do you like what I have? And you start telling the world, this is who I am. Freedom doesn't come from being able to buy anything you want. Freedom comes from not wanting it in the first place. Method 3. Weaponize your time. Stop bleeding hours and start monetizing them. You complain about not having enough money, but you treat your time like it's worthless. After you clock out of your 9 to 5, your most valuable asset, your free time, bleeds out into a meaningless void of scrolling, streaming, and passive consumption. You're exhausted from your hard day at work, so you tell yourself you deserve to shut your brain off for 5 hours. That's the voice of mediocrity. That's the voice that guarantees you'll be working for someone else until you're physically unable to. Every hour you spend watching someone else's life on Netflix is an hour you could have spent building your own. This isn't about the hustle culture fantasy of working 24/7. This is about being intentional. It's about recognizing that you have a second shift, and its purpose is not to enrich Netflix, but to enrich you. It's time to stop being a passive consumer of entertainment and become an active architect of your own wealth. It's time to weaponize your evenings and weekends. Your task, non-negotiable. Conduct a time autopsy. Just like the financial autopsy, you need a brutally honest accounting of your time. For 1 week, 168 hours, you will log everything you do in 30-minute increments. From sleeping, to eating, to showering, to scrolling on the toilet. Be ruthlessly honest. At the end of the week, take a highlighter and mark every single block of time that was spent on low-value, passive consumption, streaming services, social media scrolling, online window shopping, watching YouTube videos that teach you nothing. Prepare for a shock. Most people find they are pissing away 20, 30, even 40 hours a week. That's the equivalent of a second job where you pay them to employ you. The productive 10. I am not asking you to give up all relaxation. That's a recipe for burnout. But you're going to carve out a non-negotiable block of time for wealth-building activities. Start with 10 hours a week. That's less than an hour and a half a day. Even you can't pretend you don't have that. Schedule it in your calendar like a life or death meeting with your future self. This is sacred time. During these 10 hours, you do not clean, you do not watch TV, you do not run errands. You do one thing. You work on activities that directly generate income or dramatically increase your future earning potential. Choose your weapon, skill up or side gig. You have 2 paths for your productive 10. Skill acquisition. Identify a high-value skill you can learn that will directly lead to a promotion, a higher-paying job, or the ability to freelance. Examples: coding, digital marketing, sales, copywriting, data analysis, a trade skill like welding or electrical work. During your productive 10, you are not just learning, you are intensely practicing. You're building a portfolio. You're working towards a specific certification. Your goal is to make your current job obsolete by making yourself too valuable to stay there. Direct monetization. Start a side business. Not a passion project that costs you money. A business. Something that solves a problem and gets you paid. Examples: tutoring, freelance writing, consulting your area of expertise, a service business like mobile car detailing, house cleaning, or handyman services. Start small, start ugly, but start now. The goal for the first 90 days is not to build an empire. It's to generate your first $1,000 in extra income. That $1,000 doesn't go to your lifestyle. It goes directly into your retirement account. Embrace the suck. This will not be fun. It will be hard. You will be tired. Your friends will be going out for drinks while you're debugging code or cleaning a client's gutters. This is the price of admission to a life of freedom. Every time you want to quit, you will visualize two futures. One where you're 70 and still bagging groceries because you had to watch that extra season of a show, and one where you're 55 and financially independent, traveling the world because you put in the work when others were making excuses. The pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret is permanent. You will stop seeing your free time as off time and start seeing it as opportunity time. You will transform from a passive consumer into an active producer. The satisfaction you get from solving a client's problem or mastering a new skill will begin to eclipse the fleeting dopamine hit of a new episode notification. You are no longer just an employee from 9 to 5. You are the CEO of your own life, and your second shift is dedicated to the most important project you will ever have: buying back your future. Method 4. The No Gauntlet. Building financial walls to keep out the thieves. Your financial leaks aren't just internal, they're external. You are a walking ATM for the wants and whims of others, and your inability to say one simple two-letter word is costing you a fortune. No, you're afraid of being seen as cheap, of being unsupportive, of creating an awkward moment. So you say yes. Yes to the overpriced group dinner you can't afford. Yes to loaning a friend money you know you'll never see again. Yes to chipping in for a co-worker's gift that's way outside your budget. Yes to your kids' every demand. Every one of these yes is a betrayal of your future self. Your desire to be liked is more powerful than your desire to be financially secure. You are prioritizing the fleeting approval of others over the permanent dignity of your own future. It's time to grow a spine. It's time to run the No Gauntlet and learn to build impenetrable financial boundaries. Protecting your money is not selfish. It's the most responsible thing you can do for yourself and for those who truly depend on you. Your task, non-negotiable. Identify the leeches. Make a list. Be honest. Who are the people and what are the situations that consistently pressure you into spending money you don't want to spend? The friend who always suggests the most expensive restaurants. The family member with a perpetual emergency. The social circle where lavish vacations are the norm. The workplace gift-giving culture that has gotten out of control. Naming them is the first step to disarming them. Prepare your scripts. Your weakness in the moment comes from being unprepared. You will now prepare. You're going to write down and rehearse your no scripts until they become second nature. They must be polite, firm, and non-negotiable. You do not owe anyone a detailed explanation. Because it's not in my budget is a complete sentence. For the expensive outing, thanks so much for the invite. That place is a bit out of my budget right now, but I'd love to catch up for a coffee/walk in the park next week. For the loan request, I'm so sorry you're in this situation, and I really care about you, but I have a strict policy not to lend money to friends or family. It's a boundary I have to keep for my own financial health. For the group gift, I'd love to contribute, but my budget for that is $X. I hope that's okay. For your kids, I know you want that, but it's not in our budget right now. We can add it to your birthday/Christmas list, or we can talk about ways you can earn the money for yourself. The 24-hour rule. Institute a mandatory 24-hour waiting period for any unbudgeted spending request over a certain amount, say $50. This applies to requests from others and from yourself. When someone asks you for something, your default response becomes, "Let me think about it and get back to you tomorrow." This simple habit does two things. It breaks the emotional, in-the-moment pressure to say yes, and it gives you time to consult your budget and your conscience, free from the hopeful eyes of the requester. 9 times out of 10, you'll realize the answer should be no. Embrace the awkwardness. Saying no will feel awkward at first. People might be surprised or even a little offended. Good, let them. Their reaction is their problem, not yours. You are training them how to treat you. If someone gets angry because you refuse to sacrifice your financial future for their present-day convenience, you have just received a very valuable piece of information about that person's character. True friends will respect your discipline. Leeches will scurry away to find another host. Consider it a self-cleaning oven for your social circle. You are the gatekeeper of your financial future. It is your sworn duty to protect it. You will stop seeing saying no as an act of deprivation and start seeing it as an act of profound self-respect. Your budget is not a suggestion. It is the law. You will realize that the people who truly matter will respect your boundaries, and the ones who don't matter. You will trade the temporary discomfort of saying no for the permanent security of knowing you are in control. Your yes will become far more valuable, reserved for the things and people that truly align with your goals and your future. Method 5. The 10-year time machine. Confronting your future ghost. Hope is not a strategy. Vaguely hoping you'll be comfortable in retirement is a surefire way to end up eating cat food. You avoid thinking about the future in concrete terms because, deep down, you're terrified of what you'll see. It's a blurry, distant concept you'll deal with later. We're going to make it real. We're going to build a time machine, and you're going to take 2 trips. The first will be a horror story. The second will be your salvation. The goal is to create such a visceral, emotional connection to your future self that you can no longer ignore their plight. Trip 1. The Ghost of Retirement Future. If nothing changes. This is not a pleasant visualization. This is a confrontation. I want you to sit down, free from distractions, and vividly, brutally imagine your life at age 70 if you continue on your current path. Your task, non-negotiable. Calculate the grim reality. Use an online retirement calculator. Input your current age, your current savings, your pathetic monthly contribution, if any, and a conservative rate of return, like 5 to 6%. Be honest. Don't inflate the numbers. Look at the final number. Look at the projected monthly income you'll have. Now, subtract estimated taxes and healthcare costs. The number you're left with is what you'll have to live on. Let the cold dread wash over you. Paint the picture. Now, translate that number into a life. Close your eyes and build the scene. Where do you live? In a cheap, cramped apartment with peeling paint because you couldn't afford the upkeep on your old house. Can you hear your neighbors fighting through the thin walls? What do you eat? Think about that meager monthly income. Picture your grocery cart. Generic brands, cheap carbs, little fresh produce. Is it the diet you want when your health is most fragile? What do you do all day? You can't afford to travel. You can't afford hobbies. Do you just sit and watch daytime television, the hours, days, and years blurring together? How do you feel? This is the most important part. Feel the physical aches and pains of being 70. Now, add the emotional pain, the heavy cloak of regret, the shame of having to ask your children for money, the terror of an unexpected medical bill, the bitterness of seeing others your age enjoying the fruits of their discipline while you are trapped by your past irresponsibility. Stay in this feeling until it's unbearable. This is where you are headed. This is not a maybe. This is your default destination. Trip 2. The architect of a new destiny. Now, take a deep breath. We're going back in a time machine, but this time, you're in the driver's seat. We're going to design a future worth fighting for. Your task, non-negotiable. Define your freedom number. What does a truly successful retirement look like to you? Be specific. Do you want to travel? For how long? Do you want to help your grandkids with college? Do you want to live by the sea? Quantify it. How much annual income would that lifestyle require? $60,000, $100,000. Use the 4% rule as a rough guide. Your target nest egg is your desired annual income multiplied by 25. So if you want $80,000 a year, you need a $2 million portfolio. This is your freedom number. It might seem impossibly large. Good. It's supposed to be a challenge. Reverse engineer the path. Now, you have a destination. Let's build a road. Using a compound interest calculator again, work backward. With your freedom number as the goal and your retirement age as the end date, calculate how much you must save every single month, starting now. To get there, play with the numbers. See how much more powerful your money is if you can get a higher rate of return or if you can retire a few years later. This number you arrive at, the required monthly savings, is no longer a suggestion. It is your new reality. It is the most important bill you pay every month. Create a vision board. This may sound like self-help fluff, but it's a critical tool for keeping your motivation burning. Find images, quotes, and words that represent the future you just designed. The travel destinations. The hobbies, the feeling of peace and security. Put it somewhere you will see it every single day. On your bathroom mirror, on your desk, as your phone's wallpaper. When you're tempted to buy that stupid gadget or splurge on that fancy dinner, you will look at this board and be reminded of what you're really trading it for. The future is no longer a vague concept. You have now met two versions of your future self. One is a prisoner of your past mistakes, and the other is a testament to your current discipline. Every financial decision you make from this day forward is a choice between these two futures. You're no longer saving money for some abstract retirement. You are funding a specific, vivid, and deeply desirable life. You are buying your freedom, one disciplined monthly contribution at a time. The ghost of your future is watching you. Don't let them down. Method 6. Automate your discipline. Make saving as inevitable as taxes. Your willpower is a finite resource. It's like a muscle that gets tired. On a good day, you're a financial Spartan. On a bad day, after your boss yelled at you and you sat in traffic for an hour, your willpower is shot and you're an impulsive child with a credit card. Relying on your daily motivation to save money is like relying on the weather to be sunny every day. It's a losing strategy. The solution is to take your weak, emotional, in-the-moment self out of the equation entirely. You're going to build a machine, a cold, unfeeling, ruthlessly efficient machine that saves your money for you, regardless of how you feel. You're going to make discipline your default setting. You're going to automate your financial success, making it as automatic and non-negotiable as your rent or mortgage payment. Your task, non-negotiable. Pay yourself first, for real. You've heard this phrase before, but you're doing it wrong. You probably wait to see what's left over at the end of the month to save. That's a joke. From now on, the day your paycheck hits your account is the day your future gets paid. Not the next day, not when you get around to it. That very day, you're going to set up automated transfers that move your predetermined savings amount, the one you calculated in Method 5, out of your checking account before you can even touch it. Create a fortress of savings. Your savings should not be easy to access. You're trying to protect your money from your worst enemy, your impulsive self. Open a high-yield savings account, HYSA, at a different bank than your checking account. This is crucial. By creating friction, making it take 2 to 3 business days to transfer money back to your checking, you give your logical brain time to talk your emotional brain off the ledge. Your retirement accounts, 401k, IRA, are your primary fortress. You will contribute the absolute maximum you can to these tax-advantaged accounts. Automate your 401k contributions from your paycheck. Set up automatic monthly transfers to your IRA. This money should feel like it's gone. It's not for a vacation. It's not an emergency fund for a leaky roof. It is for your future self only. Do not look at the balance every day. Let the machine work. The bill system. You're going to trick your brain. You're going to treat your savings contributions as just another bill. In your budget spreadsheet or your mental accounting, your retirement fund bill and your freedom fund bill are listed right alongside your rent bill and electricity bill. They are non-negotiable costs of living a responsible life. When you reframe it this way, it stops being optional. It's simply what it costs to be you. Automate your raises. Every time you get a raise, a bonus, or a cost of living adjustment, you will not allow it to be absorbed into your lifestyle. Before you receive the first new, larger paycheck, you'll go into your automation system and increase your savings transfer by at least 50% of the raise amount. If you get a 5% raise, you immediately increase your savings rate by 2.5%. The other 2.5% can go to your lifestyle, but your future gets its cut first. This is how you avoid lifestyle creep and accelerate your path to freedom without feeling the pain of a budget cut. You will shift from an active saver to a passive one. Saving will no longer be a daily battle of wills. It will be the background hum of your financial life, working for you 24/7. You will finally understand that true financial control isn't about micromanaging every penny. It's about building a system so robust that it saves you from yourself. Your income will hit your account. The machine will automatically distribute the money to your future, and you'll be left to live responsibly on the rest. You are removing yourself as the weakest link in your own financial chain. Method 7. The Scarcity Simulation, a controlled crash course in resourcefulness. You think you need the income you have. You've built a lifestyle, a set of habits and expectations that perfectly matches what you earn. Your spending has expanded to fill the space like a gas. This feeling of needing it all is an illusion. It's a cage you built for yourself. You have no idea how resourceful, how creative, and how resilient you can be until you are forced to be. We're going to force you. For 1 month, you're going to put yourself through a voluntary, controlled recession. You're going to simulate a massive pay cut. This will be a shock to your system, designed to permanently recalibrate your definition of need versus want. This is not about the money you save in this 1 month. It's about the lessons you learn that will change your spending habits forever. Your task, non-negotiable. The 50% challenge. For 1 designated month, you're going to live on exactly 50% of your take-home pay. The day you get paid, you will immediately transfer the other 50% into that separate high-yield savings account for Method 6. Do not touch it. This is not a game. For the next 30 days, your financial reality is that you make half of what you used to. Pre-mortem planning. You cannot just wander into this challenge. You will fail. A week before the month begins, sit down with your new have budget. This is where the rubber meets the road. Your fixed costs, rent/mortgage, utilities, debt payments, are what they are. Subtract them from your 50% income. What's left is what you have for everything else. Food, gas, entertainment, everything. It will probably be a terrifyingly small number. Good. Now you have to plan. Food, no restaurants, no takeout, no Uber Eats. You will plan every single meal for the entire month. You will make a grocery list based on cheap, nutritious staples. Rice, beans, oats, eggs, seasonal vegetables. You will cook in bulk. You will take your lunch to work every single day. Transportation. Can you carpool? Use public transit. Bike to work? You will minimize your driving to the absolute essentials. Entertainment. Your entertainment budget is likely zero. This is where you get creative. The library has free books and movies. Parks are free for hiking and picnics. You can have friends over for a potluck instead of going out. You will rediscover a world of free and low-cost activities you've been ignoring. Document the journey. Keep a journal during this month. Write down the challenges, the cravings, the moments of frustration, but also write down the victories. The delicious meal you made for $2 a serving. The fun you had on free museum day. The surprising realization that you don't miss most of the things you used to spend money on. This documentation will be your proof that you are capable of far more than you believed. The post-mortem analysis. After the month is over, analyze the experience. What was genuinely hard? What did you truly miss? What was surprisingly easy? What spending did you cut out that you didn't miss at all? Which of these new, frugal habits can you realistically incorporate into your regular life? The scarcity simulation will shatter your perception of need. You will discover a new level of resourcefulness and creativity within yourself. After surviving, and potentially even thriving, on 50% of your income, your old lifestyle will seem outrageously extravagant and wasteful. You will look at a $100 dinner out not as a fun treat, but as a week's worth of groceries. You will see the hundreds of dollars you were bleeding on convenience and realize it was a tax on your own laziness. You will no longer be afraid of financial setback because you will have proven to yourself that you can not only survive, but adapt and overcome. You will have broken the golden handcuffs of your own lifestyle, and that is a freedom that no amount of money can buy. There they are, 7 methods, not tips, not suggestions. This is a blueprint for a revolution in your financial life. Reading this won't change a damn thing. It's just black text on a white screen. It's meaningless until you act on it. You can close this window now and go back to your comfortable anesthesia, scrolling through social media and pretending your future is someone else's problem. Or you can pick one, just one. Start the financial autopsy tomorrow. Freeze your credit cards tonight. Make the choice. Your future self is standing at a crossroads. One path leads to a cliff. The other leads to a fortress you built with your own hands, with your own sweat. with your own discipline. They are begging you, pleading with you, to choose the hard path, to choose strength, to choose them over the fleeting, meaningless crap you're buying today. Stop waiting for a sign. This is it. Stop waiting for motivation. It's not coming. The only thing that will save you is your own, raw, unrelenting action. The game is already in overtime. What are you going to do about it?